Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be looking at web scraping and how to do it in Rivet. This topic, I think most people don't understand that it's far more complex than you think, even though it sounds pretty simple to just fetch the content from an URL and maybe just get the text or whatever. There is lots of things that can be an issue, and we will just go through three different solutions. Actually, there could be a fourth, but I will just mention it to you. I think you will immediately understand why this is not reasonable to do, even though it's the easiest one. And yeah, then we'll see. So basically what we will do is look at three different options. We are looking at scraping with a simple HTTP call node in Rivet. And I added a bit on top of that to make it, still a bit better. Then doing kind of the same, but using the browserless API, which they have a free account you can create and where you can, I don't know, scrape like 1,000 pages a month or something for free, something like that. And then we're also using doing the same thing with Extractor API, which does handle things a bit differently, and they also have a free account. So first of all, if you want to check this out, I wrote a small description here, but most important things are please add your keys to the context. So we need a browserless API key and an extractor API key, and then your data in there. Okay, but let's jump in. And generally what this graph is at the moment is doing is we are opening a website we can configure here by adding the URL. In this case, it's some SEO blog writing something about B2B content marketing. And then there we have a question we want ChatGPT to answer based on that website's content. Okay, let's look at our solutions first. Okay, this is the most, this is one of the easiest ones. Let's actually quickly run it. Oh, yeah, it doesn't run from here. Okay. Let's run it from here and go in. So basically we are just using our URL as a graph input here, and we're putting it into an HTTP call node. And yeah, we define that URL as an input by setting this check mark. And now we're getting all the content of the page. And let's first get here. What we usually get if we just take the body out is the raw HTML. As you can already see here, it's 620,000 characters long. And that is also why the method I will not show you. Yes, we could put this as an input to ChatGPT. GPT-4, the new GPT-4 version with 128K context window can probably handle it. But if we do that, you will probably pay like $1 per request, and it will take very, very long. And it's just, no. I mean, if you're rich and you don't mind, go for it. But I don't think this is a reasonable thing for anyone to do. So what I actually created is I tried in Rivet to do as much as I can to strip out the HTML. Let's look into that function we are calling here in a subgraph. So this is getting the raw HTML here, the super long string. And then first of all, we are just extracting the body by using regex. That is still pretty simple. And I mean, the user never sees anything that's not in the body. I mean, maybe besides the title from the website in the browser. But so we can skip the other things like the headers. And then we have some code here, which is just doing pretty simply searching all the HTML tags because they always open with close with certain brackets, and just remove them. This gives us a kind of okay text representation of the website, but please note it contains like everything. There's also the navigation in here, and it's all pretty unstructured. It's not just the article or whatever we're interested in. And there's also some stuff that we were not successfully removing, like here's JavaScript down here and some jQuery and stuff we don't need. So this is doing its thing, and we will later see how much better that it's already much better. But it's not exactly it's not exactly the best solution. Also, very important about this node here, and if running this is, with most websites, you need to change the executor to the browser, to the node, to node. Otherwise, you are often getting security issues. So if I try to run this, for example, this website in my browser, I'm getting an error here. And in general, that is the main thing anyways. If you just try to open websites from your PC, there's so many techniques to try to prevent that. There's lots of bot detection. There's so many things that could happen. And that's why we are going to look at solution 2. So Browserless is a service that allows us to, that they start some virtual machine, that they start some service somewhere, or just use it to access the page, and they have proxy service and lots of different techniques to show them that this is a real user and the website, and tries to trick their security system. So this is far more reliable. They are constantly working on making it possible that you can open websites. And basically, this is the same, but we are now using their API for it. So we have another URL we are opening where we need our token. We are pushing in the URL in the body as an object. And then we have the same thing. We were returning the raw HTML they give us and the text. And basically this also, we will see later, this gives us the same results. This is just making it that we won't get issues by trying to do it from our local PC here. So this is just the more reliable method. And as I said, they have pretty generous free credits, so this might be an option even without paying a cent for you. And now we're coming to the third solution, Extractor API. And I've been searching very long to find some solution which helps us a bit mitigating the issue that we are, just trying to somehow find what the proper and relevant text of the website is. So, because in an ideal world, we want the article. You just want the main article and we want the text of it. Or to be honest, best would be like a markdown representation, which still has the headlines, the structure, the links, the tables. But I did not find anyone who provides a service like that. And there is no way, I didn't mention it before, but there's no way to do this in Rivet with the code node because you cannot import any libraries. So if we want to stay in a no-code or only in Rivet, this is impossible. If you use Python, a beautiful soup, then there's actually, I'll have some scripts lying around. You can do it. But if you want to stay in here, no, there's no possibility. But even if you do it in code, it's still pretty challenging. Okay, so this is now basically also just doing the same. We are just using their API, so we need a custom URL with our API key, the URL, and what fields we want, and we're making a call to them. And then they actually give us 2 representations of the website. They could also give us the HTML, but that's not very interesting. So we are retrieving the text representation. This is, only the text they think is the most relevant text from the website. So hopefully the article or whatever we are trying to find content from. And then they also give us a raw text, which is a full text representation. Okay, that was a very long talk. What we now have here is we are going to run the same URL and the same question, and we are actually running it through those solutions. And let's press start. I switched to the, you can immediately see I switched to the wrong executor here, and this one failed, so sorry, my bad. Let's run again with a node executor. And as you can also see, this one here is by far the quickest method. So that's the nice thing about it. If you do it with Rivet, you are quicker than any external service. And especially Extractor API is very slow sometimes. It can take like 10 seconds plus to give you a reply. Okay, but let's not get hung up. Let's look at the first solution. This is the Rivet only. And we are getting a text representation here. We already looked at it before. And if we put this to ChatGPT, we already have yeah, we already have a lot of input tokens, 5,600. So that means we can actually not use ChatGPT 3.5 anymore. That's also why I put this to GPT-4 Turbo. I mean, of course, there's also 3.5 16K or something, so it doesn't need to be like that. But just to show you, that is already a lot of tokens. So this was $0.06, so 6 cents actually. Not too cheap. But ChatGPT managed to answer the question out of the website content. So this worked. Our text representation here, which looks a bit jank, was still good enough for it to be able to do it. Now we have the second case for browserless, and this is basically, yeah, you can see it's exactly the same. As I said, this is just a service that helps us to improve the crawlability of the website, so that the scraping goes fine. Somehow there's 3 tokens difference here, but doesn't matter. And in the end, we're also getting a proper answer. And of course, the answer is not the same because ChatGPT is always giving a bit different answers. Okay, and now we're coming to the last candidate. And let's take a look. This is the text representation it found, just containing the main article. And this is, I looked at the website, this is pretty good. This is exactly how this article starts. This is a good representation. What I'm not so happy about here is they have no headlines. And yes, as I said before, no headlines, no structure. I assume that tables and stuff like that will get completely lost. So it is okay, but it's not the best representation of a website. And if we look at the raw text, then yeah, they have a bit of a better way of it looks a bit cleaner than the thing I created with my method here, but it's still kind of the same. It's just a lot of text which is a bit chaotic and lots of keywords from menus or whatever. Okay, but nonetheless I put both of those in as to ChatGPT as well. And what we can see now is we managed to reduce the tokens by a lot. So this is 2,000 tokens. Before we were always at 5,700. So this is actually enough tokens to be able to put it into ChatGPT 3.5. And at the moment now we paid 2.5 cents for it with ChatGPT 4. And I mean, it was able to answer properly in both cases. These are correct answers from the article to the question. So we are already nearly 3 times cheaper. So let's actually move to ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. Let's rerun it, and now we will of course see that everything fails but this one here because they exceed the tokens. We can only do 4,069. And we can see that Extractor API is really slow. Okay, but now we have our answers here. And now we have paid, a fourth of a cent and a fifth of a cent. And we still have proper answers to our question. This is what was written in the text. So this is why it's super important that we actually take care of this. Because in the end, whatever you're running, and maybe you want in the future we want to extend this, and we want ChatGPT to doing its own research. I mean, I already did a video on how to integrate the search results from Google into Rivet. Maybe we want ChatGPT first to trigger its own search. Then we want it to decide, okay, I want to open those 3, 4, 5 websites, and then I want to have the content of those websites, and then I will give you an answer, then it becomes very important to take care of those tokens. And this is probably the first part of a series because there are more methods to handle the tokens, but this is one of the first. So if you want reliability, you should probably use at least an external service like browsers. And if you're fine from just getting a text-only representation, which might remove some content, then Extractor API, and you also don't care about the speed, to be honest. And then Extractor API is also a good solution. But coming up in the future, we will probably also talk about retrieval augmented generation, because that will be for sure a way to make our representations from the text much smaller and only serve the necessary parts to ChatGPT. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stay tuned. And as always, this example will be in the description of the video. And yeah, feel free to like and comment and give me any feedback or maybe also suggestions what you would like to see in the future. And I hope this helped you. Thank you very much and see you.